She has taught kids from very privileged backgrounds. She has taught kids from very impoverished, economically impoverished backgrounds, and now she's teaching kids who are sort of a range, but mostly working class kids. And so here's an example from what she wrote to me. She said, this was her 40th or 41st week of school last year. She said, Rebecca walked in the first day chewing gum and declared, just want you to know, I hate school. Mary's a 5th grade teacher. Everything, says I? Everything, she says. I said, guess I've got a big job ahead of me. What job? Said Rebecca. Well, my goal is for you to say, I love school by Friday. Think I can do it? No way. Yes way, I said. Now get rid of the gum and find your name tag, honey. We're almost ready to start. As she left today, she hugged me and whispered, I love school. And she kept on. She wrote, obviously this is the best week of school until after the FCAT. She has been struggling against these standardized tests for a long time. Even when she was Teacher of the Year in Massachusetts, she wore a button that didn't endear her to the administration that said MCAS with a slash through it. And she was on 60 Minutes. She was one of the teachers who was interviewed when they did that story. So she said, obviously this is the best week of school until after FCAT, for the kids anyway. Teachers, on the other hand, feel as if they have been run over by a very large truck. It's the only week before FCAT when we do not have to follow any particular schedule, when we can take time to connect, to get procedures in place, to begin to build a community. But Monday, bam, we start story number 1 in the reading book. And she writes, ha, as if it were a reading book. And Unit 1 in math, and things get rolling big time. It won't be so great next week, so my goal is for Rebecca to continue to love it, or at least like it. She has terrible trouble in math and reading. Hard to love school when you're constantly asked to do things that look impossible. So I emailed Mary back and just told her how amazing she was and, you know, what admiration I have for her. She wrote back, Rebecca isn't really turned around. She just had a good first week because the work was doable and there was a lot of getting to know you stuff, lots of laughs, lots of you are so smart every time someone offered an opinion about anything. Next week when they start the serious grade level stuff and she realizes that it's going to be hard, things may fall apart. I'm going to do my best to see that they don't, but no matter what I say or do, when I hand them those stupid weekly tests, they're so sure they're stupid. Or maybe this year I won't hand them the stupid weekly tests and let the chips fall where they may. Another example is Steve Gordon. He's been very big, you know him, he's been very big. Linda knows him from the National Writing Project. And he was a teacher for 35 years in the Boston Public Schools and now does coaching with the I think it's UMass Boston Writing Project. And he said it beautifully. I'm not looking for prescriptions for teachers. I'm not looking for narrow silver bullet programs that script teacher behaviors using some quasi-scientific rationale. I want to find ways to teach that embody the several theories and beliefs that I have come to believe are true and good. Truths and knowledge that have consequence for educating urban children. I can do little about the injustice and racism that permeate our institutions, but I want to create pedagogy that makes me feel I have done my best. So, I want to talk to you about what it means to be a highly qualified teacher. So this is what they say it takes to be a highly qualified teacher. You see the value added, I just added that recently. GPAs, your test scores. The value added is the kids' test scores, teacher certification, etc. But what else does the literature say? I think most of us, would agree that these things are important. A solid general education background, a deep knowledge of subject matter, knowing pedagogical approaches, strong communication skills, effective organizational skills, but there's a lot more. And so what I wanted to know in this project is, what do teachers say? So I'm going to focus today on just 4 or 5 teachers who I've interviewed. And I want to share with you some of the things that they say are important, why they're thriving, what it takes to thrive, and why they find joy in teaching students of diverse backgrounds. So this is Amber Bouchard. She's an 8th grade language arts teacher. She's in her 20th year of teaching, currently in Plainfield, Illinois. Previously, she was a 6th to 8th grade special ed teacher, and she taught, when I knew her, in Massachusetts. She was a kindergarten teacher in an elite private school. So she's done the whole gamut. And she came to me one day about 10, 12 years ago and said, Sonia, I am moving to Chicago. My husband has been transferred there, and I don't know anything about multicultural education. Please let me into your class. The classes tended to be oversubscribed, so I let her in. She was just, an incredible student, very beloved teacher in the elite private school that she taught at. And she says about teaching at all these levels with all these different kinds of kids. She's in a school that has 32 languages now. And she's teaching middle school. And she says, all of these are equally desirable to me. Right now, I'm loving 8th grade language arts, but I love kindergarten just as much. She also teaches graduate students entering the teaching profession at a local university. This is John Gunderson. He's a high school psychology teacher in an affluent community in Southern California, and he also teaches pre-service teachers at a local university. He created a curriculum that's based on students' lives, using psychology as a way for students to turn in on themselves and look at what it means to be them. At the end of the first semester, they write a paper on their lives and where they think they'll be in a few years, like by the time they're 35. And then they make a playlist of my life. 10 years later, some of his former students have come back to tell him that this assignment changed their lives.